Hi everyone, this is Krishna Vandanapu, a business applications MVP and a Microsoft certified trainer. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will learn what is a form, how to create reusable forms in Power Apps. Before we learn the topic, let us examine what is the output we are going to achieve or learn by end of this video. For this example, I have created a very basic app, but a very efficient app. In this app, what I'm doing is I'm adding a new device. As well, if I want to edit any of the existing device details, I'm using the same form to do the updates on those device details. But the catch here is the entire app has only three screens. One is the landing screen and other one is to add, update or view the device details. Third screen is to show all the list of devices in the data source. If you are a first time viewer on my channel, this is the best time to subscribe to my channel to get updates on all the latest updates on Power Platform and learn tips and tricks to ensure your app is performant and efficient. Now let us go step by step how I have achieved and how I have reused the forms to make my app efficient and lightweight. I logged on to Power Apps Macro Studio. As I have explained in my introduction, my app has only three screens: landing screen, device details screen, which is where I am adding, reading and updating the device details, and a gallery screen where I am rendering all the list of device inventory as part of my data source. How I made this form as new form, edit form and display form, let us do that by adding a blank screen. Now I'm adding a blank screen. Under the blank screen, I wanted to add a form. In Power Apps, forms are controls to add, update or view the list items. If you notice, by default, I have two type of forms. One is edit form and the other one is display form. The display form is always to render the list item in a display mode, whereas edit form is to update the existing list item. But where is the new form? Here it is. When you add a form, the first property you need to set is the data source. I am using SharePoint as the data source, but the same phenomena you can apply to any data source. The second and very important property to achieve reusable forms is default mode. By default, when you add a form, the form mode is edit. That has to be updated as new. Once you update the form type as new, it will be able to add new entries to data source as and when you submit the form. How do you submit a form is add a button. On select of the button property, we'll say submit form of whatever the form name it is. Good. We have added the formula as submit form of form 4. But when you run the app as it is, see what happens. Now I am adding a sample device and the device ID is 123. Manufacturer is Samsung and the device name is mobile and the price is $1,500. Now when I submit this form, it added the record, but immediately it started showing no item to display because as we know, there is no new form to add an item to data source. We have updated the edit form to the new form, but it still expects something to show once you submit the form unless you redirect the user to another screen to show as a success message or update the very important property of the form, which is item property, with the newly submitted item. If not, you will end up see that message as no item to display. How I could achieve that is there is another property to the form called on success and on failure. Go to on success property of the form, create a local variable with the help of update context formula, say lvar local variable recently submitted. Now form 4 dot last submit. This will return the recently submitted record. I repeat, form 4 dot last submit will return the recently submitted record. So that record I can directly associate onto item property. Now if I go ahead and associate, it will show the behavior of this variable is record. However, if you run the app as it is, it will still not be able to allow the user to submit a new item unless and until you reset the form. To reset the form, I'm adding a reset icon. On top of reset icon, I want to say reset form of form 4. When you just do that, say reset form, now I'm able to submit a new record. This time also I have given the manufacturer as Samsung, but the device is laptop. The price is 1540. When I click on submit, there you go. Now this time I am not getting that error as no item to show because my form item property is properly set to the recently submitted item. If you notice, my form has a record by default, and when you submit the same form again, the very same form starts behaving as a update form because I already have that specific record information. To prove that, if you notice here, my latest device is sample 2 with the device ID as 145. If I run the app and update as 2145 and update the device ID as 1454, and if I submit that and if I refresh my data source, it got updated because my form is holding the recently submitted record. Once I submit the form, I don't want my form to be immediately in edit mode. I want to make my form default mode as view. How I could do that is on the form on success property, create one more local variable as lWhereForm edit, but this one I'm making as false. I don't want my form to be in edit mode. Now come back to my default mode of the form and use that as if that form is true. If the edit is true, then only I will make my form as new mode. If not, my form mode as view. If you notice, the time I complete my formula, it became a view form because by default this variable or the flag is false. To turn the flag to edit mode or a true, I have added a pencil icon. On the pencil icon, now I'm updating or turning that form edit to true. If I just click on that, the very same form became as a new form because under the default mode property of the form, if it is true, I'm not turning the form as edit. I'm turning the form as new. How I can avoid that and show that as edit is, we know that we have another property called item. Under that, I am always holding the recently submitted record or record which I am getting from somewhere else. Now go back to default mode and here write one more as is blank of this variable. If that is blank, I know that my form is going to be a new form. If not, my form has to be edit, right? Now my form has to be in edit mode. Even under edit mode, whether it is a new form or edit form will be driven by my last where record submitted variable. Now if you notice, it has updated my form behavior to edit mode. Now if I just submit one more time, it will submit and make my form as a view mode. When I click on edit, the very same form turned on to edit mode. But how I can handle the same thing from the gallery is go back to gallery. Under gallery, I have created a button. Send the record ID of the selected item with the navigation variable. Now, if I just update this to screen 1 because my screen is this screen. Now, when I go here, now if I click on this, it is coming here, but it is showing the record as my previously submitted record because it is a local variable. Local variable scope is up to the screen. Now if I go to on visible property of my screen, here I can always update my recently submitted record with lookup device information where ID equal to this one, right? I'm just sending this ID from my previous screen. Now if I go back to my gallery and if I select this, that record information is coming, isn't it? When I just say -1 and submit, that got updated. Now my form became the view form. When I click on that, it shows the very same form. In my gallery screen, if I want to make my form as a new form by default, what I can do is I can say here navigate. This time what I will do, I will send my record ID as 0. So 0 will never return any record. So when I click on this new item, the very same form became the new form, because when you look at the default mode of the form, if my recent record is blank, then it will come as a new. If the recent record is not blank, it will come as edit. Okay. Now if I just go to my gallery and just click on this item, I can see this as the updated item. Or if I don't want that, if I want to add a new item, I can click on the plus icon. This time the form will get update and it will show the new form. This is how I can create my app with a minimal number of screens and use the very same form as a new form, edit form and a view form also. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and learned how to create a form and reuse the same form in the app to ensure that your app is lightweight. I'm providing this app as part of my GitHub. You can download and use the app by changing the data source. If you like the video, hit like, add your comments. This is my contact information. I'm highly available in Twitter and LinkedIn. Thank you. Have a nice day.